Hey y'all, it's Elizabeth Weimler, and I am coming at you because I'm not coming at you, but I'm here with you today because Saturn is transiting into Aquarius. I use the sidereal system, so I know Western it's already in Aquarius. But for the Eastern system, sidereal system, which Western does use sidereal as well, but the sidereal system of astrology, Saturn is moving into Aquarius. Aquarius. This is going to be a very welcome break from its time in Capricorn. We did get a little sneak preview of Saturn in Aquarius and what to kind of expect over the next 2.5 years. Back April 28th, 2022 until July 12th of 2022. As I said, sneak movie preview. Saturn was in sidereal Aquarius during that time. So look back at that time in your life and see what was going on, what was happening, how things were going. You'll kind of get a sense of what the next 2.5 years is going to bring for you. So Saturn's transit has a really big impact on the houses it is transiting in our natal charts. It spends, as I mentioned, 2.5 years in a sign. So this is going to start January 17th, 2023, and this transit's going to last until March 29th of 2025. So get comfortable because Saturn does pack a punch where it lands. So wherever it lands is going to be where Saturn's asking you to work hard. It's going to bring discipline. It's going to help you learn to be disciplined if you're not in that area. Saturn can bring delays and setbacks. So just know if things aren't going as quickly as you want, Saturn takes its time. Saturn is more about the long haul. It's about being patient. So just know there's going to be that time where you may just need to trust and let go of control. Saturn really, for the house it's in, it can feel like that house, there's greater tension in it, your life in that house. But it's really, Saturn's really asking you, because it sits so long, to really focus your attention, examine those areas, pay attention to those areas, and understand that Saturn can bring losses to those potential areas. And it's going to really kind of take away anything that is irrelevant, that you don't need, and that you really subconsciously don't want, but you don't realize you don't want it. One of the things with Saturn for sure too is, especially when dealing with relationships, if it's affecting one of those houses, if Saturn ends a relationship, know it's doing it for a purpose and know it's meant to end. So trust in the process. There's a little bit of trusting in the universe on this, that everything's going to play out, but still show up, put your best foot forward. And as always, now's a really good time if you want to see kind of what all the transits are doing in your chart to book, if you haven't already, a natal consultation with me, or your chosen professional astrologer. It doesn't have to be me, and kind of see what's going on, get that update. If you've, as I mentioned, if you've never done a natal, start with the natal, really get a sense of your chart, and then look at transits. And then after that, if you've done it, reach out, schedule your yearly update. Now's a great time, always a great time to get a yearly update and see what's going on, what's shifted, what's happening, what to expect. So Saturn's going to enter Aquarius January 17th. One of the things is the first few degrees, the first degree of Aquarius, it's going to be more weak. It's going to feel, you may feel more anxious, more off kilter. This feeling is going to last until January 26th. There could be, for some, more feelings of fear or being more unsettled. Just really keep that in mind and know that it's passing influence, depending on what planets you have there. So also know this does depend on what personal and natal planets you have in that house. But for Saturn, take the time, slow down, be sure to get out in nature, stay grounded, and really keep all of this in mind. One of the things with Saturn, it is at home in Aquarius. So it rules two signs in the Eastern system. It rules Aquarius and Capricorn. It is more at home in Aquarius. It's more comfortable. It prefers Aquarius. This transit really should break down, give a much needed, not breakdown, but give a much needed break from the government's trying to so hard to maintain control. There may be more truths coming out. This move could force us to really spend time reevaluating those people we hang out with. You could find your relationships with them changing or coming to a close completely. If that happens, let go. Recognize it's time. Saturn's asking you to move forward. Saturn's trying to clear out anything that's not serving you or helping you, or allowing you to move forward into what you're here to accomplish in this life. Another thing to really consider is you could find yourself drawn to new groups, but really be sure you're evaluating them and that, you don't over idealize them, because we still have the influence of Jupiter and Pisces right now until April 21st of 2023, which will impact this. But don't get so involved in so many that you're spread too thin. If you're looking at new groups, find really one that really calls you and really fits with your who you are in your essence and really put the time into that and spend the time on it. Aquarius is a sign that really, it wants to create community. It's asking us to really put our individual differences aside to come together. It's also a sign of technological advancement, and we can find new ideas and inventions coming to the forefront. These are really going to help make our lives easier, and if we're lucky, even less restricted, but than it was when it was in Capricorn, because obviously we all know how that transit went. But the key to Saturn, and this is what's always key to remember, is Saturn is always hard work, focus, taking responsibility. It's focusing on those. It's really facing the truth head on. It's looking at the hard facts when making hard decisions and being brutally honest with yourself. So, you don't have to go announce the brutal honesty to everyone, but start making those small changes. Really be brutally honest with yourself and see what happens. Aquarius is also a very science-oriented sign, but it has this side that will really want to search deeply for the truth and wants to really, it has this desire to restore like lost ethics and get rid of corruption. For those of us in the US, that could be in governments, but also around the world, that can be in governments, because governments around the world are interesting right now. It can be a little bit of a rebellious sign. On the flip side to this, we could see a lot of creativity come out of it, as well as new trends that are more evolving and emerging. So really pay attention the next 2.5 years. As with all the things I do, we're going to look at all 12 signs, what Saturn and Aquarius could potentially hold for you. Remember, these are broad generalizations. I don't know what planets you have in the houses. I don't know what your chart looks like. So these are broad generalizations. Again, the best way to get personal insight that's unique to you is to book a consultation with a professional astrologer. For anything, I always recommend you look at your ascendant and your moon sign. It's really going to give that flavor. It's really going to give that insight. It's going to give what you can see, what your mind may see, and kind of put those two together and keep them both in mind. So let's go ahead and get started with the 12 signs. Aries, this is a time when you're going to find you have more stability as it relates to your cash flow. You'll build stronger relationships with friends who are in alignment with you. If there are friends that have really started to slowly drift, you may find that they clear out, or just this friendship naturally comes to an end, or it aggressively comes to an end, depending on other transits at the time. The truth and true nature of people is really going to be revealed, and this will help you really weed out those toxic relationships that are holding you back. There can be this feeling of loneliness, but really don't give in to that desire to isolate yourself, as you really need to spend time with those friends who support you and bring energy to your soul. It's really a time to become clear on your goals, your aspirations, and your desires that you want to manifest during this period. Remember, 2.5-year period, so really think about it. And you have this ability to finalize and build the foundation to manifest your goals. Take advantage of this period. It won't come around again for another 28 or so years. So these are long transits. Really, as we learned with the tortoise and the hare, it's a classic, slow and steady wins the race. And that's exactly what Saturn's asking you to do. Taurus, this is a time to focus on your career, improve your reputation and character. Make sure that you get your responsibilities organized and build a routine to make sure nothing falls through the cracks. A new job could come up, but really be sure it has the stability to it. Working hard is going to be very important for you. And if you feel your energies are split in too many different directions, take the time and see what can be consolidated. It's going to be really important to conserve your time and money, and it is a time where slowing down expansion can be beneficial. If you neglect work issues, you can run into delays or obstructions that are going to limit your ability to advance. So know this, don't neglect your work issues. Really make time to continue learning and growing to move your career forward. And putting in that hard work is really going to bring the rewards and potential to get honored for your work towards the end of this transit. One of the key things for you, Taurus, really be mindful of your knees and joints. Don't overstress them and give them time to heal if they feel off. Gemini, your view of life during this transit will be more realistic and at times more cynical. Long distance travel can be good during this time. Your finances are going to continue to become more established. But on the flip side, maintain your budget and continue to focus on your financial goals. So cut out any unnecessary or frivolous spending and keep that in mind with everything you do. You're going to find that you receive the answers from everyday occurrences that give you more purpose. Really pay attention to the little things that provide the insight you have been seeking. Take the time to stretch and focus on keeping your hip area open and loose. Otherwise, problems could arise. So keep those hips. For those of you that sit at desk jobs, sitting all the time definitely tightens the hips up from personal experience. You could also find you're more aware of the ethics and justice of situations and that your concern for this increases. So during this time, you're going to realize the limits and boundaries exist around you, and this will really potentially change your direction in life. Cancer, now is the time to get support. When building relationships at work, make sure others are able to work with you in a way that is what you need and desire. Working with people that want to get things done and have a positive attitude is most beneficial during this transit. Be sure you share in the results in a fair manner and really make sure you're maintaining and improving your health. For you, potentially, an inheritance could find its way to you, but you could find that it's withheld or delayed. Saturn, remember, delays things potentially. Money issues can be prevalent and teach the best lessons during this transit. So you could find that money restrictions could prevent expanding your business, but the weight it forces could change the outcome or desire. So the weight could actually be good and change. Looking back, you could say, hey, I'm so glad that happened. I'm so glad that worked out the way it did. You will find yourself thinking, you will find your thinking and ideas about money transformed during this transit, and really be sure to take a vacation or some other planned time off to really recharge your energy level. So get away, do a technology decrease, not decrease, technology decrease works, but technology detox could really help you. Leo, bringing structure, routine, and discipline to your work and business is key. You could find that travel to foreign countries or work with foreigners is really beneficial. This transit could bring more responsibility and a heaviness around relationships. There could be emotional turmoil or indecision at this time. You could find that your relationship starts to get boring. Make the time to add in more fun to your relationship. If you've been together for a really long time, try to go back and remember what brought you together in the first place. Really make sure you're adding that more fun and pizzazz back into your relationship. However, you're going to have to be cautious. Do not fall prey to thinking the grass is greener on the other side. Looking for a new relationship, you will only find the same karma, just a different person. So stay faithful. Really try to work through the results of working through this difficult time will be worth the effort, creating a deeper bond between you and your partner. One thing to keep in mind, Saturn awakens reality and it will reveal the truth of relationships, any kind of relationships. It could be business, it could be personal, but Saturn awakens reality wherever it is in a chart. Transiting. Virgo, this is a really good transit for Saturn for you. This is a time to stand up for yourself, improve your relationships. This includes the relationship with yourself. So you've got to love yourself first before you can have others love you. You should be feeling stronger during this time, and it's a period to work hard and build structure at work, which will really benefit you in the future. So remember, now's the time to build. Do know confrontations can occur during this time. If the need to defend yourself arises, really do so from the base of facts and keep emotions out of the equation. So don't let emotions take over. If the dispute is petty, it can be really wise to let it go. So really take the time and think, is this worth it? You will come out ahead in the long run, just know that, but you do need to have more discipline to pursue you will have more discipline to pursue your goals and ambitions right now. A key for you is really going to be maintaining both eating right and getting exercise to maintain your health, or you could find yourself getting sick more often. One of the things is really remember to remain humble. You can have feelings of being unsupported or tired as you feel you're doing the majority of work. If you own a business, Virgos, employees may quit at the worst time just as you need them most. So keep that in mind and kind of have some backup plans so that if that happens, you are not stressed. I mean, there's ways and there's free will and there's workarounds. Libra, now is the time to stabilize and organize your investments. Think about and plan where you want to be in a few years and use that to help you work backwards to what you need to do starting today. If you don't meditate, this can be a really good time to start practicing, but find what works best for you and listen to your heart on what calls to you. During this time, be cautious not to confront the government or take undue risks around taxes. So this is a 2.5-year transit. Remember that. During this transit, it is important to work off facts and data, as too much speculation or anticipation is not supported during this time. So keep that in mind. You could find you have new responsibilities around children, whether an unexpected new addition or kids headed off to college. One of the things to keep in mind for you, Libra, is that spending too much time alone will breed loneliness, and you could find that you're dropped from other social calendars by turning down too many invites. So really don't turn down too many invites. I'm not saying you have to accept all of them, but don't say no to everything or you'll stop getting asked. Other thing, really put some effort into dating or romancing your partner, which will kind of ease that mental and emotional imbalance if you start to feel it. If you aren't in a relationship, put some effort into dating. It can be a time where it could pay off. Scorpio, this can be a positive time to move or remodel your home. However, really take the time to really think through the decision, do the in-depth analysis. Make sure you're getting a good home inspector, as jumping headfirst with a rash decision could lead to hidden issues that surface later. If you're staying put, you will find that you're fixing issues around your home. Be sure the job is done correctly so you're not fixing it again in a year or 2 or 3. This is a good time to expand your education if it will be of benefit to you. So really take time and think, is this the time to do that? Keeping your car serviced and keep it insured. You could have some higher car maintenance expenses or find yourself needing a new car. So keep that in mind. Don't delay on getting problems fixed. Big thing for you, don't isolate yourself when you're down in the dumps. It is important to get around other people. Go to a museum, hang out with friends, just get out. You could find that for you, issues from the past could surface. Let them. This is the time to heal these issues and grow into your future. Sagittarius, you're going to feel more determined and stronger physically. A good routine and building structure into your life and efforts will lead you to more rewards. Short trips could be beneficial to you in some way, whether work or personal trip. You have the discipline and perseverance to work through learning new knowledge or material to advance your career or to finish out school. Saturn is providing the discipline, perseverance, and determination to really accomplish your goals, giving you a sense of accomplishment. For you, communication lines can seem more hampered, so you will have to work harder to keep those lines open and clear. Constantly check for communication, clarification if you need it, and that everyone's on the same page. Be cautious of injuries to your neck, shoulders, and hands during this next 2.5-year period, and really give enough time for them to heal, or they could develop into a chronic condition in the future. You're going to find that responsibilities in your life will take center stage during this time, but they will be a grounding force for you. Capricorn, Saturn can bring money during this period, but it's going to come already allocated already. So it's going to kind of create those restrictions and limit your freedom to choose how you're going to use that money. This is a period to conserve your money. So create and stick to your budget and financial goals, and this will serve you well in the future. Do not take loans you cannot afford or overextend yourself. So really ask yourself, is this necessary? While it may seem like a great time to do so on the loans, you're going to regret it later. Saturn is really asking you to work hard and be smart. And if you do, Saturn will reward you in the future, but you've got to put in the time, you got to put in the effort. For you, Capricorn, don't put off those trips to the dentist. Dental work is likely to be required over the next 2.5 years. This is a time to really get it done and get it fixed. This is also a time to clean up your diet, eat more simply by focusing on those fresh foods, and be sure to get meals at regular meal times. Really take the time to think about what you are saying before speaking, as not doing so could lead to bigger problems for you later on. Aquarius, you are going into a period where focusing on your personal needs is necessary. If you have felt stuck or lost, now is the time to really redefine your life and create the new life you desire. Remember, it will take creating habits, getting into a routine, and making sure that you are taking care of all your responsibilities. But Saturn's there to help you. It's there to help give you that discipline and structure. This is really a time for you to win the battle and not the war. So small victories are going to be key to success. Work may require long hours and be accomplished more efficiently for you, and you will have to push through feelings of uncertainty or a lack of confidence in yourself. Remember, small steps forward are going to be the win, those little wins. Those small steps, they really may not feel like much, but they will build and add up, especially when you look back. I will say for you, this is not the best time to get married or start a new business. Remember, get out and about, avoid isolating yourself during this period. And it's a really good time to focus on that health, losing weight if desired. Saturn will bring, as I've mentioned, that structure and discipline to really help you succeed. So you've got the energies working in your favor. Pisces, this is really a junction point for you in your life. You're going to find your whole mental, emotional, and physical self really experiencing a metamorphosis. So really like the caterpillar changing into a butterfly. This is a time of endings affecting all areas of your life. Memories of the past hurts, hidden issues, or pains are likely to surface. Don't shove them back down. I really can't stress this enough. Work through them, heal them so that you can move into a new phase of your life at a whole new level. This is going to be a really necessary process, and you will come through it stronger. It may not feel like it, I know that, but you will come through stronger. really during this period, be cautious not to build up debts, as there could be a loss of job or income, or may really feel the time has come to move on to something else. You may just be like, you know what, I need to change. This is it. I need to move on. There could be times when you feel resentment when you gave to others and they took advantage of your good nature and generosity. So maybe don't give to others, or recognize that you may not get the same in return. Just be mindful. This does not have to be a bad time. Just avoid overly risky situations and find ways to stay grounded and be around positive people. So find your support network, be around that support network, work through past issues so that you can let them go and move in to a new cycle starting in March, on March 29th of 2025. So keep that in mind. As always, these are broad, high-level generalizations for each sign. If you really want unique to you insight, best way to do it is to book a personal consultation. And I will put links below to book with me. And if you've never had a natal consultation with me, I require you to start with the natal so I can see what your full chart is saying. Then you can do yearly updates after that. But let's start with the natal if you've never done it. If you've done it before, yearly updates, all booked below. And until then, let's see what Saturn and Aquarius brings for us, because we'll see how it all plays out. I think it's going to be really interesting to look back in a couple of years and see how much has changed, whether for you personally or as the world as a whole, because we're all going through this change as a global community. So let's come together as a global community. Let's stop focusing so much on all of our own self-focused and really build communities and come together. So until then, again, book readings below. If you like videos and more like this, like and follow for more content, both monthly updates, big changes. Jupiter's going to be changing signs in April of 2023, which is when this is, 2023 is when this is being filmed. So keep an eye, lots of stuff going on. And again, follow or book below, and I will look forward to seeing you all in the next video.